So I'm Cuck of the Week. Is the No, let's get into the real Cuck of the Week, John.
Yeah, absolutely, Ethan. The real Cuck of the Week, CNN.
Okay.
Classic.
Sounds right so far.
This is a story from their health section on their website.
Great section.
Cuckolding can be positive for some couples, study says.
Is it positive with a Z?
Oh, God. In our current political climate, the term cuck, short for cuckservative, wrong, CNN.
Short for cuckold.
Yeah, it's not for cuckservative. Cuckservative came after cuck, you know? God, CNN just full of the fake fucking news. Okay, so I'm not going to read this. Let's get to
that's the only example of when the cuck actually came first. Usually they have to wait.
Yeah, so a couple of...
Thank you, by the way.
A couple of... Jewish sex doctors wrote in a study.
Why does their ethnicity matter, John?
I think Jews are white, but David Lay, Justin LaMiller, and writer Dan Savage acting on cuckold fantasies can be a largely positive experience for many couples, and hardly a sign of weakness, Ethan. Not being able to satisfy your wife isn't a sign of weakness. Why does anyone make that connection? How did that come about? We need to change the narrative on this. This fantasy has been around as long as marriage and sexuality, says Lay, Echo, whose book Insatiable Wives...
Oh, man. Great book, by the way.
Whose book, Insatiable Wives, addresses cuckolding in heterosexual couples. But we're hearing more and more about it these days, and more people are rejecting the social stigma against this fantasy. Uh-huh. What's amazing to me is, like, the alt-right said this was happening, and people were like, no, it's not happening. And even if it did happen, it would be a good thing. And now that it's happening, it's a good thing.
Well, I don't know if this is the mainstream, John.
CNN?
Look, it's the mainstream media. No, but I mean, this is not like a, it's not an official stance or anything, is it?
It's science, Ethan.
This is a column.
Indeed, this is a study.
A hard, fleshy column.
Indeed, the numbers suggest that cuckolding, or at least thinking about it, is more common than you might imagine.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Can we make a distinction there?
What?
So, like, this cuckolding or thinking about it, there are probably some people who think about it, but who aren't actually doing it. Can we say that the people that think about it is way bigger than the people that actually do it?
You're saying that the pool of potential cucks is larger than actual cucks.
I'm saying that a lot of people probably jerk off to cuck porn.
Yes. A lot of people definitely
And they probably,
do.
that doesn't necessarily mean that they do it.
Well, it's, I guess not, Ethan.
Right? And is there anything wrong with it anyway? I don't think so. Is that weird?
Let's get back to the hard-hitting facts here, Ethan.
All right. What are they hitting so hard?
For his forthcoming book, Tell Me What You Want, The Science of Sexual Desire and How It Can Help Improve Your Sex Life. Catchy title, guy. LaMiller
I'll tell you what I want.
LaMiller surveyed thousands of Americans and found that 58% of men and about a third of women had fantasized about cuckolding. Oh, yeah, only a third of women, Ethan. Most women do fantasize about being faithful to their husbands all day.
How is it 58% of men?
This is more of a survey on the honesty between the sexes, I think.
Yeah, really.
It's like when the first time you're having sex with a woman and you're like, so how many partners have you had? And she's like, 4 or 5,
Right.
It's like, you gotta multiply that. These hoes ain't loyal, Ethan. Anyway, men are more likely to fantasize about cuckolding, and they do it more often, but there are a number of women who have these fantasies as well, which points to the need for more research focused on women's cuckolding desires. Absolutely. Let's pour money more and more into this. Let's get to the bottom of this.
John, that's less money to find aliens, okay? So.
I'm sure that guy would be perfectly fine with this, Ethan.
That's true. He's like, hey, cryptocurrencies are for idiots. Cucking, though.
That is the thinking man's fetish.
Good for your prostate health, too.
Initially viewed as a heterosexual phenomenon, it's increasingly prevalent among gay men, too. Even the gays are getting cucked, Ethan.
Wait a minute. How does that even work?
I don't know. Let's listen to what these good doctors have to say. I'd long gotten letters from straight couples into cuckolding. But this guy's like, yeah, mail me your cuckolding fantasies. But none from gay couples until after marriage equality began to gather steam, explained writer and activist Savage. To learn more, Savage joined with Lamiller and Lay for a study of cuckolding fantasies and experiences in 580 gay men. Yeah, gay men don't really have cuckolding fantasies because they're all just fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if
monogamy is a lot less.
That's what my gay friends tell me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we're all hooking up with each other, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Although I think once you get they get a little older, sometimes they settle down a little more.
Right, and that's when I'm sure the cuckoldry comes more into play, because like gay men don't have the same age taboos, I would say, that straight people do.
What age taboos?
Well, I think it's a lot more common. I think it's just common in gay couples for one guy to be a lot older, for one guy to be the daddy.
Oh yeah, well if he can have the money,
you're right,
then
exactly.
He can do it, yeah.
And so if this daddy, is trying to keep up with a 20-year-old gay guy or a 25-year-old gay guy, his libido can't keep up. I'm sure it's fine for him to just jerk off in the corner and watch his twink get rammed or whatever.
Oh right, yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me at all that among gay couples, cuckolding is popular,
Right.
So anyway, part of what makes cuckolding arousing for heterosexual men is they tend to view it as a taboo act. In a society or culture that idealizes monogamy, the cuckold fantasy is a current narrative that is available to people to conceptualize their sexual fantasies.
That makes sense, actually. I like that. That was the first thing that they said that actually was like, okay, I can get on board with that.
Oh, wow. Surprised that you agree with that, Ethan.
Well, it makes sense, right? It's
you can identify with this mindset.
Well, I fantasize about cuckolding.
Do you?
Yeah, but I'm the bull.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
it's a little healthier.
Is that normal? I don't know. I watch. So I mean, I like the sometimes on those videos they'll be like hot wife gets banged or whatever, and I'm like, I'll watch that.
Yeah,
but I'm not like thinking that I'm her husband.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
you think you're the black guy?
Yeah.
And the emotion surrounding seeing your partner with someone else can add to the turn-on, explained Savage. It's not cuckolding if there isn't an element of humiliation, degradation, or denial, he said. Our erotic imaginations have the ability to turn shame lemons into delicious kink lemonade. Good Lord.
Well, Dan Savage is always trying to turn a phrase,
This guy wants...
Do you know Dan Savage? Are you aware of him?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's a gay sex writer. And
mm-hmm.
He's the guy who came up with the idea of calling the, you know how, like, after you come in a man's ass, John, there's a...
Go on.
There's a discharge of
shit and cum?
Yeah, that oozes out.
Good Lord.
Right? And he came... And there was no term for it, so he suggested everyone should call it a Santorum.
Oh, okay.
So apparently people call it that now.
All right.
Or at least some liberals call it that.
I love calling it that because it's like, yeah, people are going to remember Rick Santorum forever. That is just a memorable guy. Anyway.
Yeah, but every time he comes on TV and runs for president again, I do think of that.
I just think the sex act is going to outlive, the connection to Rick Santorum.
That's a good point.
As a sex therapist, one of the more intriguing findings from the study involves the impact of cuckolding on relationships. Overall, our research found that for the most part, cuckolding tends to be a positive fantasy. No pun intended there, and behavior, said Lay. It doesn't appear to be evidence of disturbance, of an unhealthy relationship, or of disregard for one's partner. Now, how could anyone think it's unhealthy to sexually enjoy humiliation? How is that associated with being unhealthy?
John, I don't purport to know how to judge other people and their sexual practices.
Well, as a Catholic, let me tell you, Ethan. Let me lay it all out for you here. Jerking off to a guy fucking your wife is unhealthy.
Really?
Okay. I think that, it's a weird thing to not only... It'd be one thing to come to terms with the fact that you're like, you can't satisfy your wife and she leaves you, and you're like, well, you know what, she went off with this other guy, he's the better man, like, so what, I'll that's the way it goes, and I have to move on. I feel like
I'm a huge cuck.
I think
I have to move on.
I think like that's emotionally healthy, but instead of being like jerking off in the corner while some guy fucks your wife, that doesn't quite seem to be like the acceptance of reality thing.
But, some guys get turned on by that, so who are you to judge them, John?
Didn't I just say? I don't know. I feel like there's just something deep down. Maybe I can't fully rationalize or express it, but it seems gross to me. It seems disgusting. I'm repulsed by it.
See, this is the thing, John.
I've accepted gay sex as a thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't judge someone for that, for being attracted to someone of their own sex. Like,
but you judge them for being a cuck?
Yeah. I judge them for being attracted to their own sexual humiliation. I do judge people for that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What if a woman is attracted to being humiliated? And degraded.
That's the patriarchy at work, baby. If she is, she should listen to Mean and Sober. Maybe send us some steamy letters, but
some Bitcoin.
But like, I think like swinging isn't the same
as
cuckoldry.
That's true.
And like I could see that being quote unquote healthy. You know what I mean? Like I could see that it's like, well, my wife wants to have different partners, and I'm okay with that. And
I want to bang the partners of those partners.
And we're adult enough that we can come to this.
Oh, so that's fine.
That seems very different from like, oh, my wife wants to bang someone else, that's fine, and I'm going to jerk off to it and watch it.
So it's not cucking if you switch partners?
I don't think
swap?
so. I don't think swapping is cuckoldry.
Well, think again. It's double the amount of cuckoldry. Well, literally.
Well, if your woman leaves you after that, then it is. I think, yeah. God, just
imagine if you swap, but then like you swap because you want to get cucked. Like you're with the other girl, but the whole time you're like, well, wait, so
you blow another dude.
You're like, I can only get hard if I think about what's happening to my wife right now.
Yeah, you swap wives, but you just like have watch your woman have a three-way. Like that's your idea of swapping. Oh no, I'm good in the corner, man. Do your thing. Honestly,
I'll get to her.
she just likes me to come back here. So, for men and couples considering the issue of cuckolding, it's important there be honesty, integrity, communication, mutuality, and shared values. How is there mutuality?
Well, one person is comfortable in their humiliation, and their willingness to share that with the group. And
the woman is comfortable humiliating the guy.
And sharing all that.
Wow, boy, I've been looking at this wrong this whole time.
John. You're not an anarcho-capitalist. You are a Nazi deep down, John.
Oh, no, I'm an ANCAP. What the fuck are you talking about,
What does this have to do with, like... So this is just your own personal beliefs, but you wouldn't believe that anyone who enjoys cucking should suffer some sort of penalty.
No. Bulls are entitled to all the pussy they can get. Ethan.
All right. See, and that's another good point, John. Why are you advocating against this? This is just more pussy for everyone. Well, less for some.
Less pussy for cucks.
You're right.
Interesting.
Yeah. Rethink, John. Rethink.
That's true. Cucks won't be breeding. That's a good point, Ethan. We'll have a full bull Ubermensch society in no time.
Yeah, there's a eugenic argument here. So now you're on board.
Boy, hey, CNN's right. It's good health. It's just good health to practice.
You mean for the race?
Cuckoldry. For the human race, Ethan. I don't see color. I just see bulls and cucks.
All right. The idea
Cuck of the week.
All of CNN. The idea of gay cucks is a little bit weird. That one's hard for me to wrap my.
I love how that's the one you're not okay.
Well,
with.
I'm okay with it. It's just that I don't. It goes outside the general concept of cucking, which I always think of cucking is the idea is I think it's like Italian or something where it's like she made him wear the
horns,
the cuckoo's horns,
right.
You know, and so then it's like what that means is that he's wearing these invisible horns that the whole society, your whole village knows that your wife is banging other dudes but maybe you don't even know.
Right.
So you're sort of being cucked.
Yeah.
But if it's like you're just gay, having gay sex, then it's like, that's not how you usually would think of that.
No, exactly, because it's not like, oh, aren't you embarrassed? It's like, no, I suck dick. I'm not embarrassed.
Well, also these cucks aren't embarrassed. It's all mutuality. And
well, I think cucks are a little embarrassed. I don't think they go.
Oh, that's how they get hard. Is they're embarrassed.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
But I don't think they go around like putting bumper stickers that say "proud cuck" or something on their car.
My kid's
proud humiliated cuck.
My kid's an honor student,
and I'm a cuck. My wife's son is an honor student.
There you go.